Welcome back to the cryptoworld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now Bitcoin is rejecting from critical resistance as the price is playing out a new warning signal in the short term that could reveal the next trading opportunity, while Ethereum is also flashing a new warning signal in the short term. So I'll be talking about all of that and more later in the video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, starting off on the 3-day Bitcoin chart, and right now the price of Bitcoin is still technically in a larger bullish trend on the larger time frames, also known as a bull market. Because at least as of right now, the price of Bitcoin has not yet invalidated the higher low, higher high price structure on the larger time frames, like the 3-day chart or the weekly chart, for example. And on top of that, we also have this hidden bullish divergence, which is a trend continuation pattern, telling us that we're most likely going to continue the larger bullish trend over the coming months. But as I always say, it is important to understand the difference between the different time frames. So even though we might still be in a bullish trend on the larger time frames, during this larger bullish trend, we can see short-term bearish price action here and there. And so just because I'm still bullish on the larger timeframes in terms of the larger trend, that does not necessarily mean bullish across all timeframes. And if we're taking a look at the daily Bitcoin chart, as of right now, since my last video here on the channel, the DXY here on the daily time frame has not updated because the DXY has been closed for trading over the weekend. But basically, in case you're new to this channel, the DXY has been pulling back over the last couple of weeks, which has been a bullish reversal signal for Bitcoin in terms of these shorter term trends here in the price. But if you missed my last video, and if you want to know more about this DXY right here and what it exactly means for Bitcoin moving forward, then check out my last couple of videos here on the channel to find out more. And something similar can be said about the daily Bitcoin RSI, because since my last video, not a lot has changed in the daily Bitcoin RSI. And so obviously, as I've been saying basically every day over the last couple of weeks, the daily Bitcoin RSI has already started a bullish reversal, breaking out above critical resistance and forming higher lows and higher highs. And the last couple of times we've seen this in the daily Bitcoin RSI, this has happened right at the beginning stages of the next major move to the upside or trend in the price of Bitcoin. But once again, during these larger bullish moves or these bullish trends, we can see short-term bearish price action and short-term pullbacks here and there during the bullish trend. And if we're taking a look at this daily Bitcoin chart, as of right now, this breakout to the upside from this bullish falling wedge is technically still active on the chart. But with that being said, we have now run into the first major obstacle in this breakout to the upside, which is this significant area of resistance that I've been talking about here on the channel, sitting in between 67 to 68,000. And so once again, as I've already been sharing here on the channel, we are likely going to see the price of Bitcoin struggle around this area on the chart, and we're likely going to see at least some sort of sideways consolidation or possibly a short-term pullback or rejection from that resistance area, which so far is playing out exactly as expected. But once again, this might only be a minor pullback during the larger breakout to the upside, considering the overall breakout from this falling wedge is technically still active. And in order to invalidate this breakout to the upside for this falling wedge, we would have to see a breakback below this point of the breakout, which is sitting at around 62 to 63,000. And once we eventually see a confirmed breakout above 68,000, for as long as we don't invalidate this breakout for the falling wedge, and we eventually confirm a breakout above this area of resistance, then once we see that confirmed breakout above 68,000, we could likely see a quick move up towards that all-time high area in between around 72 to 74,000 as the next major area of resistance to the upside. But once again, only once we confirm a breakout above 68,000, which as of right now has not happened. And if we're zooming further into the shorter term right here on the 4-hour time frame, we are now seeing this bearish divergence that I've been warning about over the last couple of days. This is now playing out as expected. And so once again, as I've already been saying over the last couple of days, we're most likely going to see either at least some choppy sideways price action, if not a short-term pullback in the price of Bitcoin as the most likely scenarios, at least in the short term, as in talking about the next couple of days or so. And if we're taking a look at the last time we saw a short-term bearish divergence here on the 4-hour time frame, this played out over the next couple of days, over the next 2 to 3 days, give or take, in the form of a short-term pullback before we eventually continued that bullish trend higher later on. And so once again, if you're zooming out to a larger time frame, if that short-term bearish divergence continues to play out like what we saw last time around a week ago, give or take, then that bearish divergence playing out might look something like that, for example, before potentially continuing the bullish trend higher later on. And so that's why I've been saying it's important to understand the difference between the different time frames. When we're talking about the larger trend playing out, I am still bullish, but during that larger bullish trend, we can see some short-term pullbacks here and there. And once again, right now, we're potentially seeing a bit of a short-term pullback playing out. But this could be a trading opportunity that we could take. And personally, my trading opportunity is I've already entered a long position around these previous local lows closer towards 59 to 60,000. And as of right now, like I said in my last video, I've already taken some profits off the table for this long position right here. And I still have a lot of the position open. But since my last video, this position has not changed. I haven't done anything to this position since my last video. But basically, the potential trading opportunity when it comes to this short-term pullback is potentially, in my situation, I may look to add to this long position if we see a continued pullback here. And so, for example, if we start bouncing around this previous low at around 65,000, which was also previous resistance, that could be a possible signal to add to this long position. Or, for example, if we see the 4-hour Bitcoin RSI play out this bearish divergence, and then perhaps in a day or two from now, if it starts entering closer towards oversold territories, that could also potentially be a signal to add to this long position. Basically, if we start seeing some short-term bullish signals like bouncing around support or some oversold signals in the RSI, anything like that, then once again, I'll potentially use this short-term pullback to add to this long position, considering I am still bullish in terms of the larger trend at play. And as I've explained here on the channel, the idea around this specific long position right here, as always, not financial advice, but in my trading strategy right here, the idea for this long position is to basically have it as more of a swing trade, trading the larger move to the upside, kind of like what we saw back here or back here, for example. And so essentially, when we're running into resistance at those areas, I might take a little bit of profits off the table as I just did recently. But then if we're seeing these short-term pullbacks along the way, like what we've seen previously, on those opportunities, I may look to add to that long position. And as always, every single day here on the channel, I'll keep you up to date on this trading strategy, as I've been doing basically every day over the last couple of weeks. And also, if you want to get extra real-time updates throughout the day, if I make any changes to this trading strategy, check out my Instagram or my Twitter link down below this video, because on those other social medias, I'll also make any extra updates if I actually make changes to this trading strategy. And if you also want to take trades just like this to make a lot of easy profits in crypto, then make sure to check out this exchange which I'm trading on right now, which is Bybit. So I'll make sure to leave a link to Bybit down below this video in the description and in the pinned comment. And if you use that link down below this video to make a Bybit account and deposit on that account, then you can get up to a $30,000 deposit bonus, but only if you use that link down below this video. And also, if you use that link, it'll take you to this page right here where you can claim an exclusive 200 USDT airdrop position just by making a Bybit account using that link down below this video, making a deposit and claiming the airdrop. And so if you're going to be trading crypto anyway, you might as well check this out. Once again, first link down below this video. But for whatever reason, if you cannot access Bybit or if you cannot KYC on Bybit, there is also Bitflex, which is another crypto exchange similar to Bybit, but you don't need KYC for Bitflex. And so I will also make sure to leave a link to Bitflex down below this video as an alternative crypto exchange. And if we're taking a quick look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, we can see over the last one day, we liquidated some of that liquidity that was sitting at around 67,500, but we still have around $2 billion worth of liquidations sitting closer towards around 68,000. And so once again, we ideally need to confirm a breakout above 68,000 in order to set up that next move to the upside towards these local highs. And with that being said, taking a look at Ethereum on the weekly time frame, and right now the price of ETH is still holding above this critical Fibonacci level of support, which is sitting at around 2870 approximately. And at least for now, the price of ETH is technically within a shorter term bearish trend that is within a larger bullish trend on the weekly time frame. And obviously, this is nothing new for the price of ETH. We have seen this previously during this very bullish trend that we've been in basically since around mid-2022. But if we're taking a look at the daily time frame, once again, we can clearly see that at least for now on the daily time frame, we're still technically within this short-term bearish trend, forming lower highs and lower lows, at least for now on the daily time frame. And as I've been saying over and over again recently here on the channel, in order to become more confident that we're actually flipping into the bullish direction on the daily chart, basically reversing from a short-term bearish trend into a short-term bullish trend, in order to confirm that bullish scenario, we need to see a confirmed breakout, ideally above this previous high and at least above this resistance. And this line of resistance is currently sitting at around 32.20, and this previous high, if we're looking at the candle closes, is sitting at around 32.70, or if we're looking at the actual candle wick high, that is sitting closer towards 33.50. And so once again, we ideally need to confirm a breakout above 33.50 in order to actually become more confident that the price is reversing back into the bullish direction here in the shorter term, similar to what Bitcoin has been doing over the last 1 to 2 weeks or so. And if we're zooming into just this area on the chart right here, on the 8-hour time frame, right now the price of ETH is still potentially just in this choppy sideways price range in the somewhat shorter term here, sitting in between this area of support and this area of resistance. First of all, this area of support is still sitting in between around 28.50 to 29.50, and this area of resistance is sitting in between 3.2k to 32.50, with more resistance once again at around 33.50. But believe it or not, you can still make a lot of easy profits in choppy sideways price action just like this, and if you want to know how to do that, then stick around to the end of this video to find out more. But first, taking a quick look at the 4-hour time frame, and right now the price of ETH is potentially now playing out a new short-term bearish divergence. Because as of right now, the price has already confirmed a higher high in the 4-hour candle closes, while the RSI has confirmed a lower high, which is technically a bearish divergence, basically the exact opposite of this previous short-term bullish divergence. And so this basically means the previous short-term bullish divergence back here is no longer playing out. It has already completed, as we've seen over the last few days. And instead, due to this new bearish divergence, we're most likely going to see reduced bullish momentum over the next couple of days as the most likely scenario. And what I mean by reduced bullish momentum is basically either choppy sideways price action or potentially a bit more of a pullback as the most likely outcomes just in the short term here. And in order to invalidate this bearish divergence, we'd have to see either a new bullish divergence form or, for example, a breakout above this line of resistance into some new higher highs in the RSI. Those signals will help to invalidate this bearish divergence. And if we're taking a quick look at the price of Solana on the 12-hour time frame, over the last 1 day, the price has broken out and is now retesting this area of resistance, which was previous support, sitting in between around 167 to 172. And so it is quite important that the price holds above this area on the chart, because if we see candle closes on the 12-hour chart, for example, back below around 167, then at least in the imminent short term here, that would be a bit of a bearish signal, most likely resulting in a continued drop to this level right here, sitting at around 160. And that level will be a very important level to hold above if we actually make it back down towards that level, because basically if we actually break back below 160, that would invalidate this breakout for this inverse head and shoulders pattern. But at least for now, because that has not currently happened, at least for now, the breakout for this inverse head and shoulders pattern is still active, with the active price target to the upside sitting at around $209 approximately. And so from the point of the breakout to that price target, that was potentially around a 30% move to the upside, or from where we are right now, as of recording this video, to that price target, that's still around a 23% move to the upside. And as for other resistance between now and then, we could also find some resistance at around 183 and more resistance at just above $200. And we also have to keep in mind that the 12-hour Solana RSI just brushed against overbought territories over the last 1 to 2 days. And so there's no surprise that we're seeing a little bit of a short-term cool-off here in the price of Solana to help to reset this RSI, because we were starting to get a little bit too overheated just in the short term. And so these short-term pullbacks along the way up are actually healthy for the bullish trend, because when we're seeing these short-term pullbacks, that is helping to reset these price oscillators like the RSI, for example, giving us more room to the upside later on. And once again, if you want to trade these moves in the price of any crypto, check out those links down below this video to claim those extra bonuses. And if you want to actually know how to take these trades, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how you can profit from bullish or bearish price action using long positions or short positions. And the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.